Welcome to the Explainer. Okay, let's talk about the annual university budget. For a lot of folks, it feels like a total grind. But what if it could actually be your most powerful strategic tool? Today, we're diving into how AI is basically becoming the newest, most valuable member of the finance team.
So let's just start with this number, 97%. That's how many college administrators believe, right now, that they need to be using data more strategically. So the desire for a change, it's pretty much universal.
But here's the crazy part. For most of these institutions, the old-school budget process isn't helping them be strategic. It's the biggest thing holding them back. It's this manual, super time-consuming cycle that literally gets in the way of the data-driven approach that all the leaders are asking for.
Right, so before we can really appreciate the solution, we've got to dig into the problem. Let's talk about this budgeting bottleneck. Why is the old way of doing things just not cutting it anymore?
And this really is the question every single institution needs to be asking itself. Think about it. Is the one tool that's supposed to help you plan for the future actually keeping your university from being nimble, strategic, and ready for whatever's coming next?
And here's where you can really see the conflict. Look on the left. Traditional methods are manual, they're slow, they're always looking in the rearview mirror. Now look at the right. The goals are to be strategic, predictive, fair, transparent. You just can't get there from here. The process itself is fighting the ambition.
So, this huge gap is exactly where AI is stepping in, becoming that new analyst. And, its arrival isn't just because the tech is cool. It's a direct answer to the very real pressures finance departments are under, like right now.
And that pressure is absolutely immense. A survey from 2024 found that two-thirds of finance departments have been hit with staffing shortages. So teams are being asked to do much more strategic work, but with fewer people to do it.
So how are they dealing with it? Well, that same survey found that 77% of these departments are actively investing in AI and automation. They see it, plain and simple, as a critical way to bridge that talent gap and just get more done.
Okay, so what exactly are we talking about when we say AI budget automation? Really, it's about making the leap from those old, static, error-prone spreadsheets to intelligent, dynamic systems. These tools can chew through massive amounts of data, predict what's coming down the road, and give leaders a live, up-to-the-minute picture of their financial health.
But here's the thing. This journey to AI isn't one giant leap. It really happens in two key stages. First, you've got your process-driven automation. That's basically teaching a machine your existing rules for boring, repetitive tasks. Once you get that down, then you can move to data-driven automation. And that's where the machine starts using all that data to find brand new patterns and actually help you guide your strategy. And this is just so important. You have to walk before you can run. You've got to digitize your processes first to teach the system the rules of the road. That foundation is what lets the really powerful data-driven AI work its magic later on.
Now, once that foundation is in place, the benefits start to get very real, very fast. So let's look at how this tech actually takes university finance from the world of educated guesswork and moves it into the realm of genuine insight.
And the return on investment here is huge. We are not just talking about saving a little time on paperwork. This is about things like optimizing how you allocate resources, moving money to the programs that actually drive impact, and finally being able to forecast the future with some real confidence, not just hoping for the best. It truly changes the finance office from a back-office function to a strategic partner for the whole university. And this isn't some fantasy. Look at this data. A full 68% of finance departments are already reporting significant ROI from their AI investments. Another 25% are seeing moderate returns. So if you do the math, that's over 90% already getting real, tangible value out of this.
And what's really cool is how accessible this is all becoming. Over at Cornell College in Iowa, it isn't just the administrators. The students themselves are actually using AI to build better financial forecasting tools. That's a fantastic sign of how this tech is moving from just the boardroom to really practical, on-the-ground uses.
But let's be real. Adopting technology this powerful isn't as simple as just flipping a switch. To get it right, you need a really careful, responsible rollout that thinks about both the practical steps and the pretty profound ethical questions that come with it. So, how does a university actually get started? Well, it breaks down into a pretty clear three-step process. First, you've got to assess. Find out where your biggest headaches and bottlenecks are right now. Second, you identify the low-hanging fruit. Those simple, rules-based tasks like expense tracking. Perfect place to start. And then finally, you train your staff, and you roll it out in phases. Start with a pilot program, learn as you go, and then expand.
And right alongside that practical stuff, you absolutely have to have a strong ethical framework. This means being transparent about how the AI is being used and building trust by testing it constantly. But honestly, these last two are probably the most important. Upholding strict ethical standards for data privacy and actively, intentionally hunting for and rooting out the hidden biases that can sneak into algorithms.
This brings us to this really powerful concept from Marlon Dominguez at Erasmus University. He calls it the lawful awful. These are the things that are technically possible, maybe even legally permissible, but are just ethically wrong. For a university, an institution built on trust and values, avoiding the lawful awful isn't just a good idea, it's an absolute must.
So when you pull all of this together, it becomes really clear that we're at a major turning point. This isn't just about getting a new piece of software. It's a fundamental reshaping of how higher education finance is going to work from this point forward.
The before and after picture is just so stark. On the left, you've got a finance office that's always reacting, totally buried in manual data entry and historical guesswork. And on the right, that exact same office becomes this proactive, strategic hub for the entire university, guided by predictive insights and automated workflows. It's a total game changer.
So at the end of the day, this technology offers a very clear path toward a more agile, a more resilient, and a more data-informed future for higher education. The tools are here. The only question left is, what is your university going to choose for its next financial chapter?